Hi everyone, and welcome back to your weekly installment of the Top 10. These are the hottest selling cards in Magic the Gathering this week, and that is from the 22nd of November to the 29th. Who comes out on top this week? Let's find out. Hi everyone and welcome back, MTG Moxman. I hope your Black Friday was epic and you found all the deals you were looking for. Now a reminder though, before we start our video today, that if you're shopping on TCG Player, don't forget that I do have a TCG Player affiliate link. If you click the link, well, it helps out the channel, gets us prizes to give away. So thanks again. Let's get in to the number 10 card this week in our top 10 journey. Now, number 10 this week is the Fire Lord Azula. This thing comes in with an average price of $4 and change, and you can see here 2,809 sales or $11,544.99 of total sales action on this card in a single week. Now, this is one of the cards we noted at spoiler season a lot of players were paying attention to, and with the drop in recent pricing, cards like this became very affordable very fast. Now, when we take a closer look at the Fire Lord here, one red, one black, one blue, one other for a legendary creature human noble with fire bending too. Now, it also says whenever you cast a spell, Fire Lord Azula is attacking, well, you copy that spell, you can choose new copy targets. It's an amazing card. And he's a 4/4. It's actually a really powerful card for when you think about how it used to be back in the day. I mean, a Sarah Angel cost you 5, and that thing just had vigilance. Crazy times. Let's go in and take a look at our number 9 card this week. We're looking at the Kai, the Last. All right, guys. This one here at number 9 comes in with 2,814 sales or $4,164.72 of total sales action. Now, the card's only $1.48 a copy on average. This is not an expensive card, but that definitely hasn't shown in the sales. The sales tell us people are buying this card and they're buying it in bulk. Okay, guys, let's take a closer look at this card so we can understand why people might be picking this thing up. Now, the artwork aside, which by the way, just reminds me of things like Lord Soth from Dragonlance, like, you know, a wall of ice and stuff. Now, target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. If the creature the opponent controls is dealt excessive damage, you get to add that much red mana. Until end of turn, you don't lose unspent mana as the steps and phases end. This is kind of insane when you think about certain spells that are low casting cost, do high damage, will kill small creatures, and give you a whole bunch of red mana to do all kinds of nasty things to your opponents. Now, our number 8 card this week, we are still staying in, and we are with the Last Avatar. Because the Avatar The Last Airbender, it's really dominant this week again. Now, this one had 3,004 sales with a total cost of $5,497.32 for the sales action on this card. Now, Basingi, this thing here is like $1.83. I didn't think much of this card at spoiler season, but I did take a closer look for today's video because I guess there was something I was maybe just missing a bit, and you guys will probably put some comments in the comment section. I probably just like butchered the name yet again, but still. The artwork, by the way, very nice. I like it. Now, this land comes into play tapped unless you control a basic land, but that Earthbend 2 ability. 1 green, 2 other, activate only as a sorcery. Target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature, but you get to put the 2+1/+1 counters. When it dies, it returns to the battlefield tapped. So it's a land that comes back, and it's a creature, and you can do it multiple times. Yay! I think that's going to be a fun card for a lot of people, and it's cheap, so people are buying it. Guys, let's go in. Let's take a look at the Fire Nation Palace extended art version, I might add, as the number 7 card this week with 3,045 sales. Now, that's $10,657.50 of total sales action on this particular card, and it's pretty impressive to see an extended art this cheap. Average price is only $3.50, and that market price at $3.29. This is where it should be. They're close together. There's no variance or discrepancy. I like seeing prices that tight. Now, when we look at the Palace, so let's not forget what this thing's going to do for us, other than just look really sharp inside your deck with some obviously bling artwork. But it comes into play tapped unless you control basic land. It adds red to your mana pool, but target creature you control gains Firebending 4 for 2 mana, 1 red and 1 other. Cards like this, finding ways to untap and multitask and do crazy things, just screams abuse in my eyes. And I'm proud to say I haven't done it yet, but I'm sure a lot of you are going to. So let's talk about it. Now, going into our next card, we're going to be taking a look at Bender's Waterskin. People did mention this one to me numerous times. It comes in at number 6 this week with 3,294 sales, but that's only $1,482.30 of sales action because this is a dirt cheap card. This is not expensive to buy. This is just going to be a regular common, but you can see here with a market price of 35 cents and an average of 45 cents, not going to break the bank to get 4 copies. We can all afford this one. We'll just skip out on a Mickey D's coffee for a day. Now, when we look at the Waterskin, this is a 3 casting cost. Artwork's too mundane and boring for me. Untap this artifact during each other player's untap step. You get to add 1 mana of any color. Now, I don't need to tell you how important it is to be able to untap and have mana supply ready. The fact this untaps on every player's turn is just insane for commander decks. It's going to be an auto include, and it's really cheap. So I can see why people want it, guys. A great card. It's going to be great for starting out. Now, if we go into our next card this week, you're going to see it's the Secret Tunnel. Now, this card's on average, it's only $1.43. It takes the number 5 position with 3,490 sales, or $4,990.70 of total sales action. And a reminder, these are all in US pricing. Now, when we look at that average price versus the market price for the card, they're a little bit further apart, so you better check with your local retailer. Just see where your LGS has got these things priced out at. There's going to be a little bit of variance to it. I don't like seeing the prices that far apart. Now, the Secret Tunnel, again, the artwork is a little bit boring for me, but this land can't be blocked. Very interesting, right? Add 1 to your mana pool, pay 4. 2 target creatures you control that share a creature type can't be blocked this turn. I can see this thing in sliver decks. I can see this in all kinds of tribal as a nightmare, not to mention earthbending. This land can't be blocked anyway. It's insane. This card's amazing, and it's cheap. Let's keep going. Our next card is Aang at the Crossroads, because this thing is just amazing. Is it? We're going to talk about that. So it takes the number 4 position with 3,612 sales, or $2,961.84 of total sales action. So why are people buying on this card? Why is this Aang on the list? It doesn't really show a prominence, does it? Is there more going on here than we realize? Because an average price of 82 cents, the market price of 65 cents, this thing has bottomed out. It is nowhere near anything. So what are we talking about? Well, we can't forget that this thing is a 5 casting cost 3/3 with a flip ability. Now, when it comes into play, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card with value 4 or less from among the mountain of the battlefield. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. When another creature you control leaves the battlefield, transform Aang. Now, when Aang is transformed, well, he has Earth Bend 2. Other creatures you control, or land creatures you control, have Vigilance. You know what? It's not a bad card, but I still think it's too pricey to get this thing out. Our next card is the Firebender Ascension. Avatar, again, the last airbender, taking the number 3 spot. This card comes in with 3,700 sales. Now, the numbers are really starting to rise at this point. You can see number 3 here at 3,700. This is a lot higher than what we've seen recently. That's $5,439 of sales action for the Firebender Ascension. And this card, again, it's only an average price of $1.47 with a market price of $1.31. This is a very affordable card for players, and I do see it being played a lot right now in Standard. Now, 1 red, 1 other, and this thing, when it comes into play, you create a 2/2 red soldier token with Firebending 1. Whenever a creature you control attacking causes a trigger ability of that creature to trigger, put a quest counter on this enchantment. If it has 4 more quest counters, you may copy that ability. Guys, being able to copy stuff is crazy. Finding multiple ways to copy things, even more insane. Love it. Let's keep going. All right, our next card is the Scornful Striker. Now, this one here, we talked about this a lot. Me and my friends have been just mulling over this card. 3,952 sales. That's $8,299.20 of total sales action. Now, when we look at the card itself, look at the price of the card, look where the pre-orders were at. Look how they kind of held on above the $15 mark for quite a while. Now, you can see here, the average price is $2.10. The market price is $1.57. What has got going on? Why are we not caring about this card? It's a 2 casting cost, legendary creature, noble human ally. It's got first strike whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, they lose 2 life. Now, losing 2 life doesn't seem very fashionable, doesn't seem very amazing. But at the same time, cards like this, they really add up. Okay, in Standard as well as Commander, Modern, everywhere. Having ways of triggering this stuff is crazy. Do not ignore cards like this when they're cheap. Enjoy them. Our number 1 card this week is Avatar's Wrath again. Now, the average price for this thing has totally leveled out. This card comes in at number 1 with 4,200 sales. $12,558 of sales action. I've seen multiple decks utilizing this card already. Players are finding all crazy ways to use these cards to further their agenda. The average price is $2.99. The market price is $2.72. I'm fine with that. Foil at $3.25. Super cheap, but there's a lot of copies being sold, and a lot of these things are play sets of 4. Now, when we look at the card, you get to choose up to 1 target creature, then airbend all other creatures. Exile them. That's great. And of course, you can pay to bring them back. Until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands, and then you exile Avatar's Wrath. This thing gives you a chance to trigger multiple effects and abilities off that let you basically win the game. You can't ignore cards like this. They look like they're not very, a powerful combination card, but they really can work in your favor. Let's talk about what's going on in the market this week. This week's market showed continued domination by Avatar: The Last Airbender by a large margin. Now, although we're not seeing any other cards come into the top 10, we really shouldn't expect that yet if a set is doing well, and Avatar is proving itself to be a well-received set with a lot of cards that have playability. Now, cards like the Soul Stone, looking back at Bloomburrow, things like Patchwork Banner, those cards are still selling a couple hundred copies a week, maybe in some cases even more, but they're nowhere near the lowest Avatar cards, which are well over 1,000 copies a week. That tells you that although you're not going to see the Badger Mole on the list right now, 1,000 copies plus is still insane money moving in that market. Don't forget those cards, but let the prices drift down so you can enjoy it. A strong Avatar market before we move into Lorwyn Eclipsed is a really good thing for everyone to enjoy because there's so much product being opened. The prices are getting cheaper for everybody. Thank you again for hanging out. Thanks for being here this week. And don't forget, tomorrow we have our top 10 reserve list cards. And of course, I'll be at the live stream, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everyone. Well, here we go again. A chance, an inspiration to everyone to be able to say thank you to all the amazing patrons that support my channel, my YouTube membership members, that without them, daily uploaded content would not be here for everyone to enjoy. Thank you again for supporting. Better than expected. Welcome back to the Ramble and the Jamble. Better than expected. Here's the thing. These sales go up until around, what time is it here? 1:15 in the morning. So I have nothing of these mid-Saturday sales, Black Friday stuff. That's all going to come next week. That tells me the sales for next week are going to be really high. Because I know there were stores asking about all kinds of Avatar cards they don't have in stock. They were asking if I could check with other places. Do they have any? Did they open a lot of boxes? That kind of thing. And nope. Looks like we're depending on the players to be able to turn in some cards and trade things in and get the market moving. I think everyone's in for a bit of a shock. Guys, crazy times ahead. Next week, expect Avatar to have a very, very strong showing. Guys, see you then.